here we are, Joe, getting trip ready once again.
Getting exciting.
It is, and Joe's been outside doing his annual maintenance, and he's been going to and fro, and I've been wondering what's been going on. He's been gone an awful long time. Found him doing some other jobs, didn't I?
You did. It's always good to do an annual service before you head away. We're going to be away for a month or so, covering a few kilometres, so good to get that done. But if you have an older camper like we do, there's a whole stack of little wear and tear items that are likely to affect you there. And I'm going to address 4 that needed doing on our camper before we head away. So they're pretty common, and you might like to try them as well, keep your little camper worry free. So number 1 is detachment of the canvas from the body of the camper. Happens quite often. It is fairly straightforward to reattach. Number 2 is your catches. They cop a fair bit of wear and tear. I'm going to show you how we refurbished ours to give us a few more years worry-free catching. Number 3, we got a leak in our roof, so I'm going to show you how I resealed the roof. And then number 4,
which I did help with.
You did. Number 4, Lee helped us a lot actually. If you camp in the wet, you're invariably going to get some mould on your canvas.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through mould removal. And I think we should just roll the film and show you how we did it. You know, every now and then you do something really stupid with your camper, and I'm certainly no exception. In the rush to get away, we've knocked everything down, and Buggerlugs here has forgotten to undo the cover. And then when the camper has collapsed down, we wind it down, this crushing up has put a lot of stress here and has pulled the canvas away from the body of the camper. There's a little track in there. Now, fortunately, this hasn't been too bad, a bit of damage, and I've sort of ignored it for a while, but it's got the better of me now. I really want to fix the thing up, so that's what we're going to tackle today. So these are the tools we're going to need, or at least I'm pretty sure this is what we're going to need. A couple of fairly thick bladed screwdrivers and a hammer. So let's have a look at what the process is. Okay, so this is our battleground here, what we're going to work on. Now if you have a look at this sort of strip that's attached to the canvas, this is what holds it on to the camper body. And if you have a look at the very end there, you'll see there's like a little arrowhead. Now that goes into this track and retains the canvas onto the camper body. Now I tried to push this back in with a screwdriver, and there's no way in the world it can be done. So we have to do a little bit of modification. Now what we're dealing with here is aluminium, and aluminium does not bend very far. It's not very flexible. If we stress it too much, it's going to crack, and we don't want that to happen. So we have to take a very softly approach here. Now my idea is to just use a screwdriver, and we're going to go into the groove and we're going to bend it up a little bit. Just slowly work our way along, bending it up. You can see it moving a little bit. We're not going to do too much. Come around here, we'll do a little bit more, and we'll just work our way along. And then once we've done a fair bit of it, we're going to try and push that section in. I think we need to do one more pass. You can see it moving up and getting wider. Now I'm a little bit concerned behind the pole here, what we're going to do there, but anyway, we'll have a look. Now that's considerably wider than it was. Okay, so we've got this gap open, I think enough to accept this little strip back in. Let's try pushing it in. So we'll get going. I'm just using a little thin screwdriver here to get the edge in. You can see it's starting to go in, and not too bad at that. Okay, we'll go in a little bit further. There we go. Now we've got a ways to go yet because we haven't got the whole lip in, but we'll just do it in stages. Now I'm going to try to tap this edge along here in a little bit more. I'm going to use just a screwdriver. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the screwdriver on the edge, and I've got to be a little bit careful here that I don't actually split the plastic, but that's doing what it should. It's going in. Okay, that's not going too bad. Now I was a little bit worried about this bit here because I can't get in behind the pole to push this in, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So what I'm actually going to do, it's a little bit of a dodgy, sorry folks, but I'm going to just snip that with a Stanley knife and leave that bit behind there put, and then I'm going to continue along here and get the rest of that in. So here's my little utility knife, we'll use that. Okay, I'm just going to cut this. That's that side done. I'll let you get around. Okay, and we'll cut this side as well. Beautiful. Whoops. Now I'm going to continue on tapping this in, pushing this in. Let's see if we can get that in. We can. Well, that's worked out well. Okay, now we'll just try and get this front bit done. And bearing in mind there was a screw there which sort of stops it from sliding out. But let's see if we can get this little bit, that's not going to help me. I'll just try and push this bit in. That pushing it out makes all the difference in the world, eh? Sorry, that opening up.
Of the aluminium.
Of the aluminium, yeah. You can see there just my tapping in. It's just going in nicely. Okay. Sorry. All right, I'm just going to pop the screw into the groove as well. May as well lock that up. Oh, hang on. That's perfect. So that'll stop it from sliding out. And I'm just going to push this down. Okay, so we've got it into the groove now, but the problem is the little groove is wider than it was, and it's not going to hold the canvas in as strong as it used to. So what we've got to do, and it's the only way to do it, we've got to go inside and get in behind the canvas and just push all that edge down again. So let's get to it. So we're inside the van and here's the canvas. All I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this screwdriver, just go down onto the edge of that aluminium strip, and I'm going to tap it down so it crimps up on the strip there. So pretty simple to do. I'm going to use a nice wide screwdriver so that it doesn't stress the edge too much and folds everything down. Here goes nothing. So here we are, let's see if it did the job. Look, yep, it's all in there, it's all pushed in, all connected, so job done. Okay, on with the maintenance. Something probably people forget to check is their catches, and they're such an important part of your camper. If they fail, you know, the wind can get underneath, and I have seen some videos of the roofs of these things flying off. I think that's an absolute worst case scenario, but you don't want your catches to fail. And several things happen to them. If you have a look just here, the hinges in the catches are nothing more than a pop rivet, and every time you open and close them, you're just wearing that rivet out, and they get to the stage where you can see this one here is actually starting to wear and becoming quite loose, and that'll have an effect on how tight the clamping action is, because the joint's getting worn, there's more play in it, and then this catches loose, and you really have to sit here and tighten it up one or two to make sure that it stays nice and tight. But coming around here, just have a look, end on, and you see the gap that's starting to form there on that rivet. It's telling me that the rivet is wearing out. So what to do? You can go buy replacements. I think they're over $30. They're something like $35 a pop. So it's $120 worth of updates that you have to do. Or if you're tight like me, I sort of think, why not just replace that rivet, and you end up with something that's as good as new. Now, what you'll need is a packet of at least stainless steel, if not monol rivets. The size that we're looking at here is 4.8 by 6.4 millimeters long. They're the ones that you need. What we're going to do is drill the old rivet out, or if you come around this side, Lee, if your rivet is like that one there, you can see there's a metal head in there. You can't really drill that out, be a bit hard, so we're going to hit that with an angle grinder. So we'll take them off, touch up the paint, pop some fresh rivets in, good as new. You'll have a few more years of life out of them. And this packet of rivets, I think, cost me something like $10. Bargain. The easiest way to do this is simply take these off and do them in a vise where you've got full control of how it's being held, and you don't have the risk of scratching something that you shouldn't. So we're just going to take these off and head up to the shed. Okay, we'll drill this one out. Much easier to do it in the vise. Okay, that's a bit there. Now we've got to do this one. This one we're going to have to grind. All right, we'll go get this side done. We've got that metal bit of rivet in there, so we can't drill this, so it's a grinder. You always end up knocking some of the paint off with the grinder, but it's no biggie. Okay, we're going to put the punch on here and there we go. And just got to make sure that this assembly here is in the holes before you try and locate the rivets. Okay, and we'll put all that weight on there. That's one. Okay. It does take a bit of force. The stainless steel wire is quite strong, eh? But no drama. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to use a little bit of isopropanol alcohol to get the grease off of this. And let the paint stick a bit better. Okay, so you saw me cleaning them up.
Yep.
That's about all we need to do, just to just take the paint out of the nozzle. They can sit there and dry overnight, and tomorrow morning we'll fit them back on again. Okay, so we've refurbished all the catches, popped some nice new stainless steel rivets on them and just touched up with a bit of paint, and here they are waiting to go on. So let's get cracking. Isopropanol alcohol. I'm just going to give this a bit of a spray so it's nice and clean. Next thing is just some neutral cure silicone sealer. This is roof and gutter, works great. So we're just going to go over the screw holes. Put a nice big blob over each of the screw holes. Okay, bottom ones are done. We'll just pop the top ones in. It's pretty quick. Snug them up nice and tight. And the only thing I do now is when that elastic is all sealed up, a little bit of a spray in here with some silicone spray just to lubricate the rivet a little bit. And we're done. Now this is a little bit of a telltale that you've got a problem with your roof. We've had a little bit of a leak going on here, and it's leaked down into the cavity and stained the ceiling. So it's a good sign that you've got to do something about it. This isn't too bad. It's all dried out and everything, but oh well, looks like there's nothing for it but to get up on the roof and fix it up. So here we go. Now I don't know whether you can see that or not, but the actual sealer here has started to craze and crack a bit along the edge there, and especially here next to where the solar panel goes in. See a big sort of a split along there, and it's all cracking up along the edge. That's pretty disappointing. I put the sealer down about 5 years ago, and maybe a little bit more, but it's in pretty average sort of shape there. It is out in the sun, I guess, but it's generally under a cover. So we're going to get cracking onto this now. Here's the tools you'll need. You'll need one of these sort of X-Acto snap blade knives, nice and sharp. And I also use a quite a sharp chisel here, about 25mm wide, to help me get rid of this old polyurethane sealer. The process is very simple. You just, we've already been working along here, but we'll just do a little bit more. You get your blade along this sort of moulding to the edge, go to a, I don't know, 150mm long. Then with the chisel, I work at right angles to it, which lets me grab the thick bit of the sealer, and I just push in till I'm up to the little cut that I've made already, and we just push along. It actually goes quite quickly. And there you have it. We've got a nice big piece of sealer off. Now, we do have some more sealer here that we need to shave off. I just run that along the surface, and it actually gets rid of most of it. It's very hard to get it all out because the surface is quite dimpled, as you can see here. But from what I've read, providing we get this really, really clean, use a solvent to clean it, some isopropanol or something like that, get it really clean, the new silicone that I'm putting down won't have any trouble sticking to it. So there goes the theory anyway. So we'll just keep going. Alrighty, do a bit more. And once you get going on this, it becomes a bit of a pattern, and you just chip away at it. It doesn't take long, and boy, you're saving yourself a small fortune doing it yourself for sure. And as you can see, we're well more than halfway down the side there. It really hasn't taken that long. So it is really something you can do yourself. You just got to be a little bit patient and methodical. And if you do it properly, you won't have to worry about it again for years, which is always a nice thing, isn't it? Feels quite secure on the plank, and we're just going to continue on with this stripping the sealer. I have to say, this middle section is probably the worst of the lot. Stay there. To the pointy end of the job now, we're going to mask the roof up, ready to apply the Silastic. So you just use like a 15mm wide masking tape, and all we're going to do is just mask an area that we want to contain the silicone in. It's really quick and easy. Pull it out a bit. Now I'm going to have to cut this a little bit short here. Just amazing when you're outside, the rubbish that just blows around is amazing. Okay, cut that there. Let's go down here. Okay, we're at the business end now where we're actually going to seal the roof up. Now, as I sort of mentioned and moaned about, the roof was previously sealed with a polyurethane sealer. About 5 years old, and you can see, well, you have seen the degradation that's experienced in 5 years, to the point where we've got a leaky roof again. I remember in my misspent youth using Silastic and stumbling across things that have been glued up with Silastic or sealed up with Silastic like 10, 15 years, and it looks like brand new. So I'm figuring to myself, what's the big deal with the polyurethane? Why do we have to use that? It's a heck of a lot dearer than most of these silicone sealers. And I just checked the basics, you know, what does this stuff have to do? Well, first of all, it has to have some UV resistance because it's going to be out in the sun. It needs to, you know, be vibration resistant and stick quite well. It needs to be non-corrosive, so it needs to be a neutral cure. It shouldn't slump, it should just seal nicely and stay put. Now, I found this stuff in a couple of forums. It's Parfix, all-purpose silicone sealer, mould and UV resistant, tick. Non-corrosive, tick. Interior and exterior. And on a few forums I've found that people are using this to seal the roofs of their campers and caravans with very good results. So for I think it was $7 a tube, I'm going to take a punt that this stuff is going to work, and I'll get back to you sometime in the future to see whether I've totally wasted my money or whether I made some really good savings here. So that's what we're going to use. Very simple. I'm going to use a caulking gun. And my distribution tool of choice is my finger. And I'll have a rag with some turpentine, which is the solvent for the silicone seal. I'll use that to clean my finger as I go along. So let's stop putting off the inevitable and get into it. Okay, we'll just go through the basic process of this. Okay. I'm just going to come and do a little bit here and show you what I do. We here we go. We squeeze probably a bit over 100 millimeters. Then I'm going to, that's a solid bit that was in the gun. I'm just going to run my finger along it, like that. Put a little bit more there. And we're just running a bead along here onto the tape. Just do a little bit more. About 150 millimeters at a time. I push backwards and then forwards. We just go around and we're just sealing the gap there. A little bit more here. That's done that bit. Now here's my rag with the terps, and cleans my fingers nicely. Alright, so that's all sealed up. What we're going to do now is just lift all the tape off. So you can probably see it starting to go up. There's one bit done. Drop it on the ground. Do this next one. Oh, so satisfying getting this bit done, I can tell you. Probably see me up this end there. There we go. Let's get rid of this one. We've got one here. Cool. Climb up and see if I can't get rid of this stuff here. Oh. Here we go. I'm hoping this is the last bit. No, it's not. Okay, I'm going to have to go down the other side. Let's see if we can't get this bit sorted. Then we'll be pretty well done. So reach over. There you go, folks. So we just need to let this dry. Tomorrow morning we'll pop the solar panels back on, and that's the roof done. Awesome. Something that's sort of been bugging us for a year or two now as our camper gets older. And that's the state of the canvas.
Yeah, it's getting, we've noticed a little bit more mould and mildew in various little spots each time we go away. And it's really funny when you're sitting there having your morning cuppa or a little drink late in the afternoon, you sit and stare at it and it bugs you even more, doesn't it?
It's a bit annoying, hey? And the other thing that's happening is we're starting to get a little bit of water coming in, like even the dew overnight will wet the canvas. Yeah,
and particularly Joe's pillow, he starts off with the pillow pushed down because I remind him every night, don't I? And then by morning the pillow's right up against the canvas and soaking wet, and then we've got to sun it for the day.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a problem. We've tried a few different products, and I've got to say it hasn't been too successful, both in mould removal and waterproofing. So I did a bit of research and I've seen some excellent reviews on the product we're just going to show you. So here's what we're going to use. Canvas Magic. I've seen some great reviews on YouTube with some great results. It removes mould quite well from what I can see, but you do need to waterproof it afterwards, and for that Canvas Magic have a waterproofing solution as well. Also with very, very good results from what we've seen. So we're not sponsored by Canvas Magic. We've coughed up our own money for this, and we're going to take you along for the ride and see if it does the job. So here's what we're going to use to do the job, the cleaning job first off, a 5 litre pressure pump. Now I've put 3 litres of water in this. The Canvas Magic makes 10 litres, so we're going to add 2 litres of this 4 litre bottle into that container and see how far it gets us. All you're supposed to do is just spray it on. So we've sprayed that on, and they say to wait 15 minutes and then just wipe off the excess. So let's see how we go. What do you reckon? That's about 10 minutes in.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's certainly certainly coming up well. It's getting rid of it. There's a little bit up there. I think we might have to spray a little bit more up there, but so far so good. One thing I think we're going to have to do when you're cleaning through the screens, I don't think it's going to be very effective with the spray here, so we're going to do those inside. I'll unzip it and hang it down, and we'll see how that works.
Oh, that's an idea. Okay, we've now moved inside.
Yeah, this is much better than trying to get it through the screen.
Yeah.
I've just got a towel there to catch it.
A towel with a tarp under it, because we were just worried about the top of the settee and just colouring that. So I guess
see, this is what you've got to watch. You've got it all there, and it tends to run off. But that's okay. That's okay. The towel needs a bleach. I'm just rinsing off the any excess that's there. I say to give it a clean. Okay, that's the outside all rinsed now, so we'll just let it dry in the sun. Now I'm going to go on the inside, and I'm just going to sponge down everywhere that I've sprayed inside to remove any excess of that chemical. Just be mindful with what you're wearing when you're using Canvas Magic. It is a bit bleachy. You can see the spotties on my shorts there. So be mindful. Read the safety instructions, very important. It is a little bit fumey, so don't do it in a concealed area. I've sprayed inside here with the windows all open, and it's been pretty good. Be mindful of your eyes when you're spraying up, that it doesn't fall in your eyes. It is a little bit nasty there, and follow the safety instructions. All right, so I'm inside now, and I'm going to do a bit of wiping down of the areas that I've sprayed. Look, this is really impressive. Have a look. This was all dotty black mouldy bits, all gone. Same thing with this window here. Great result. It really does do what it says. So I'd highly recommend it. And the other neat thing, it's actually made in Australia, which is pretty good. So we're just wiping it down, rinsing it in some fresh water. My little sponge here. And we're taking it all off. That should be enough, and we'll just keep moving around. So there we go. I've done inside and outside, and I've used a total of 2 litres. So pretty good result. Now, I read on the bottle that you need to use it within 6 months, which is a bit of a shame. It might be it might be okay in 6 months to do another job, but I'm kind of hoping it'll last more than that. What you might like to do is, if you know someone else with a Jayco camper, go halves in the mould cleaner, and you'll save a little bit of money. But look, overall, the result, total thumbs up. Let's see how the waterproofing lot goes. Well, it's the next day, and look, I'm so impressed with the results. This is that panel that we started looking at the beginning, and look how lovely and clean it's come up. It certainly got rid of the mould off it there.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, really good, Lee.
Yeah, very happy with that job.
Yeah, and the rest of the canvas is the same. It's come up really, really well. Okay, time to do some waterproofing. So here's our product, the Canvas Magic waterproofer. It's used 100%, so you just give it a good shake and pour it into a container. Now, I've seen some videos where they're using it in a pump sprayer, like we did with the mould remover. I'm not going to do that because I've got fly screens here, meshes, and I reckon it's just going to make one hell of a mess if I spray it on there and then try to get it off. So we're just not going to go there. I'm going to actually use a paintbrush and take it from there. Now, I will point out this is particular to this era of Jayco style campers. There's a lot of vinyl, like this blue down here is vinyl. On the back of the van and on the front, these walls here are all vinyl as well. So they don't actually need waterproofing. Even the flap in there is vinyl covered. So they don't need waterproofing. However, this stitching along here and around there and on the edge, that will let water wick in. So I am going to make an effort and try to get all of those covered with some of the waterproofing compound. Anyway, let's go get started. Okay, the instructions say give it a good shake, so we'll do that. And I'm just going to pour a small amount in in this little ice cream bucket, and we'll get a start. It's very milky, eh? Quite. It's just like a white liquid, very runny. Looks like milk, all right.
Yeah.
So we'll just put a little bit in there. And we're just going to start on this edge here. So yeah, it's very, very...
it's very thin.
Very thin. Now they say to get it to soak right in. So I'm being quite generous with the amount that I'm putting on. It shouldn't create a problem with the vinyl. It should just dry clear and you won't see it. It goes in pretty well, eh?
Mm.
This is always our sort of problem child, is these corner seams.
Yeah. That's where we get the dampness from
We
inside,
certainly do. So that's done. I'm going to just, oh, look at that. You know, it's really important to make sure that you get total coverage of this on the canvas. And I'm just wiping up any bits that have dribbled on the fly screen. This fly screen is actually in remarkably good order for its age.
Mm.
So I've gone all around this edge here, along there, both sides. I've done all these fabric seams down the side there. This one in particular at the bottom of the screen, and this one along the bottom. So they've all been covered. Now continue painting Canvas Magic onto your canvas, making sure that you're totally soaking the canvas with the product and you're covering every area. Pay particular attention to the seams. Once you've finished, let it dry overnight. Then the next day, apply a second coat to all your canvas areas. So after the second coat was dried, we had a shower of rain, and a little bit disappointed with the result that we got. There was quite a bit of water soaking into the canvas, which is what we didn't expect. So I guess the thing with waterproofing compounds is you don't know what your canvas has been treated with in the past, and it might have affected it. We did apply a third coat and it marginally improved it, but what we found was if the water sits on the surface for any length of time, it will soak in and you'll end up with wet canvas. So sadly, I can't say it was a total success. The mold removal, fantastic. The waterproofing, maybe not so. But we're still looking for a solution that'll do the job for us. Well, that was a busy couple of days getting those jobs done. The last item that we did was the waterproofing, and yeah, the jury's out on that.
Yeah.
We're not saying the product is bad, but I've got a funny feeling that it's entirely dependent on what your canvas has been treated before. We have no idea what's been put on that canvas, and there might be something on there that's preventing it from going into the canvas and causing the troubles that we have. So look, all I can say is be careful when you purchase waterproofing items. Make sure that they're going to do the job for you before you commit, because they can be fairly expensive.
Oh yeah, true.
And you really want them to get the job done.
And if you've got some good waterproofing tips, let us know. We'd be happy to hear them.
Yeah, have you used something that's just worked faultlessly?
Yeah.
We thought this would, but obviously it didn't. So we're praying for no rain while we're away.
Yes, that's
but anyway, that's 4 tasks. And if you get them done, you'll feel quite positive about heading off, and that you're going to have a good trouble-free time in your camper.
Well, a big thank you once again to Handy Hubby for doing all those jobs for us.
Handy Missus played a part as well, and she kept me fed and
I
watered
did,
like a good horse.
Thanks again for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, share it with your other Jayco friends. And don't forget to give us a subscribe, it costs nothing, and a like. And we'd love any questions or comments. Please don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, folks. See you next video.